Oh my, that reballing is BS video created quite a shitstorm. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of the people, they don't seem to be under the idea that they're tuning into Lewis, the practical repairman's channel. Lewis, the person helping you run a repair shop that is successful channel by applying best practices learned from experience. No, they think they're tuning into Lewis version 2 of Bill Nye the Science Guy's channel, which is why I'm getting these messages. So you can't prove that those flip chip GPUs are bad. You can't prove it because you haven't x-rayed them. You haven't x-rayed them to guarantee they're faulty. It is not evidence. You cannot prove that again, this is all on Facebook, on the YouTube, on forums. People are like, you can't prove that just because other businesses that did this went out of business, that is not proof in any way. So today, I have an offer for you. Because I'm not the type of person that is going to not put their money where their mouth is. If I think something's a good idea, I'm actually going to invest in it. I'm not going to preach about how this is a good tool without buying it. I'm not going to tell you that this is a great business to get into without investing a good amount of my own money into it. I always preach that you should listen to people who are actually putting money into the things that they are suggesting you do. And here I'm going to give you a great opportunity. The first person to message me with a PayPal email address and a continental United States shipping address will get an invoice for 100 ball grid array flip chip graphics chips at 25 cents a piece. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm wrong, because I don't know anything about science, because I'm ignorant, because I'm not x-raying them, because I'm not opening them, if I am wrong, that means that you get all of these chips and all the other ones that I have in bags that are just like this for 25 cents a piece. All you need to do to make these work, all you need to do is get rid of those cheap lead-free solder balls and replace them with new quality leaded solder balls, and you've saved yourself $25, $50 a piece. Some of these chips cost $10, but some of these chips cost $50, $60, $70. So again, if you believe that the problem is in the balls, if you believe that on the HP DV9000, on the DV6, on the 820-2249 Apple board, on the 820-2915 Apple board, that when video editors who have been using this shit for 3 years have fucked up boards that do not work, that freeze, that the problem this whole time, after this chip has spent 3 years, 4 years, 5 years going through thermal cycles to 100 Celsius inside of a flip chip design, if you believe the problem is in the balls, then here's your chance to buy working chips for 25 cents a piece. All you need to do is add leaded balls, and you have great parts for your customers that you spent no money on. So go ahead and buy it. You win, you cheap fucks. And go back to that using your brain video. Analyze what's going on around you. Use analytical thinking. Compare and contrast what's going on between successful businesses and failed businesses. Compare what works on the good motherboard and contrast what does not work from that board to the bad board. Use your brain a little bit and try to learn. That's what I do, and that's how I notice, well, gee, look at these 87 companies that failed and started in the past 2 years. What do they have in common? What is the core service they offer? What is the primary complaint from their customers? This crap, this reballed crap. And then I look at my own experience. What of all the machines I've done, which are the ones that have lasted and which are the ones that have resulted in angry people, in chargebacks, in crap that doesn't work? And then I think a little bit, and then I look into the design of the chip, I look into the architecture of it, I actually read how these are made instead of reading crap that I read on forums and reading crap on the internet about all the cheap lead-free solder balls. It's those cheap balls, which, by the way, are not fucking cheap if you go to buy them. Half of the time they damn near cost more than the lead ones, but that's for another video. So yeah, you're right. There is no science involved there. I am not x-raying these chips to figure out that they're bad. I'm not cutting them open to look at them under a microscope to figure out and determine, yes, the chip is indeed faulty. I am not scientifically analyzing these other business models. I'm coming to these decisions based on practical thinking, based on practical application of a very low-level instinctive thinking. Malcolm Gladwell has a book on this, which is pretty good. It's called Blink. And the whole idea behind the book is that there's an entire entirely different part of our brain, other than the part that utilizes conscious thought, that allows us to come to these snap decisions, these instinctive decisions. And that part of the brain that's not a gut feeling, because a lot of people will think that there's a gut feeling involved with this stuff. But what the way it works is that there's a part of our brain that grabs all these pieces of information and processes it very, very quickly in a very, very efficient manner that allows us to come to these types of decisions. And that's the part of my brain that I'm using when I'm suggesting that this is bullshit. And that's what I am suggesting you do so that you can come to your own conclusion.